pleased. I thought it was a good connection, so thank you. Thank you. So we have a sculpture to consider. We think this will be the last one of the year. It was just too good to pass up. So this is Richard Starks again. And this is another version of what he brought us the time before. So it's really, it is. I really like it. It actually does fit on an 8-foot pad. I didn't think it would, but he says that it does. And the drop is actually a polished stainless steel. So it looks like it's coming out of the bottle. Yeah. It's not glass, yeah.
It's like the bean, the Chicago bean.
Yes, yeah. You're really, sort of.
Send this to us because I don't remember seeing. No, okay.
It's in the packet. It's a different picture.
Okay.
This one kind of shows it very clearly. This would most obviously go where the other wine story sculpture was.
Okay.
It needs an 8-foot pad, and that's the only one we've got. And that one's empty.
How tall is this one overall? Is that in here? I'm sorry if it's in here and I didn't.
It's like 67 inches, or 82 inches, I mean.
Oh.
So,
Yeah, I know.
Oh, there we go. Yeah,
It's 67 high and 82
Okay.
wide, including the.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's almost 6 feet, is
Yeah.
that right? Yeah.
That's super cool. And it looks like that droplet is a reflecting
It does.
too.
Like the
it does.
bean.
I love it.
The bean.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
And where is this going again?
Where the old wine
Yeah, where it
sculpture was.
Okay.
The other one was, which is at the.
Hopefully you won't sell out right away.
And
Never
since
had so much static as when I saw that sculpture. Really? Yes.
so many people have missed that other one, I'm really glad this is coming back.
Good.
Yeah, this is great.
A lot of photo ops, I'm thinking.
Or
Yes.
this one's coming, I should say. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know people will be happy with it, and I hope we'll sell another one. This one's the same price as the other one. We'll see. So I'll get with. Oh, is there a motion?
Yes, I will make a motion that we
I second
approve.
And Judy seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
And then tell them to start making a new one.
Yeah, no.
So I'll get with him as far as installing Sam, but he can usually install pretty quickly. It's ready to go. So thank you. What else? Is Brad going to come?
I don't see him. I thought he was. But I know you and he had a conversation about this. Mm-hmm. Do you want me to lead into it or
Okay.
give a recap?
Okay.
Well, from what I've heard, there's a concept. When we renovated the Veterans Memorial Park, there are actually 3 art pads there. One of them at the corner of California and Washington, when the park was renovated, was specific to art by a veteran. And we did a couple series of calls, and nothing ever materialized from that. And in time, we actually don't have a sculpture on the other 2 pads either at this point. And so Brad was really interested in talking with the Veterans Home about reinvigorating that idea of veteran-made art in the park. And there, I guess, are more veterans at the home doing outdoor sculpture at this point. And I know I'll kind of hand it over to Rhonda. I think you had a meeting with Brad last week.
When we talked about it, he was uncertain as to where the pads were.
Okay.
And I'd forgotten about that one because we never had anything on. It's not even there anymore, is it?
Yeah, it's there. It's just covered with bark, and it would need some landscaping pruned back. It's a
small?
difficult position because for someone to stand and actually enjoy it, it's kind of awkward. And so my suggestion was actually to focus on one of the other 2 pads,
Which are-
just because it kind of makes more sense. So
They're nice pads too, and they can. We had morning coffee.
the horse,
Maybe only part of that horse was on the pad.
a pad, yeah.
I think. And then we had the orange slices. And then it just, I don't know if it was the redesign probably of the park. It just kind of disappeared.
Yeah, I think we just never, because it's kind of off the beaten path, we just never didn't continue programming it. But I think that there's a lot of potential. And then, I think it's very much in the concept period right now, if it, but my emphasis is, let's involve the Art Walk subcommittee in this and, make it, whether it rotates 2 years or 1 year, or, if we only specifically work with the veterans here at our veterans home and how it's selected and that type of thing. So kind of trying to keep my pulse on a program, developing an actual program behind it.
Which I think is absolutely right. And also, we do have standards. And not that I think they wouldn't be met, but we do have to kind of keep within certain regulations, which include safety, among other things. But he was excited about what he had seen up there. Years ago, we did a show with the veterans in the Steve Rogers Gallery space. And it's very hard to coordinate with and that was before all of the clamping down after the shootings and so forth. But there are some very talented people up there, and the workshop is fabulous.
And I know they're really interested in having another gallery showing.
That will take some, absolutely, of course.
In time,
Yeah,
they.
whenever they want to, whenever they want to. And Cindy probably would be a good one to head that up. Pardon me?
2025.
2025.
Booked for next year.
Yeah.
The show was great. It was a great show. The work is fabulous. So anytime we can coordinate anything with the Veterans Home, we want to do that. We just need a leader. And I think Brad's interested in leading both of those, actually.
That's awesome.
Cool. So
That'd be great.
That makes me happy.
I knew it. Yeah. So he was going to be here, and I guess he isn't.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So I think that's it for the Art Walk Committee. Cindy?
I just want to clarify, you said that Chrysalis is going to be installed on 11/19, Sunday?
It's a Sunday.
Oh, it is, okay.
It's a Sunday. And I'll put that out to everybody. I'll put that
And
out to
how does it
everybody.
get in the newspaper? Sometimes it's in the newspaper, right? Or in social media or some,
As to the
the date,
installation?
yeah. the
Ahead
date.
of time?
Yes.
I
Oh.
usually send it to you. And sometimes I do send it to Kim if it's
Okay.
coming.
It just depends if they come out or not. We don't typically do a pre-press release. We might just send an email saying.
Yeah.
They used to pick it up when it was in the blurb. So I would say something to the effect in the blurb, like, oh, a new sculpture is being installed next Tuesday at 10 a.m. And the Sun would pick it up sometimes, but we're not doing that anymore.
But I always let you guys know.
Right, right.
I didn't on Dropsy because that happened we met.
Yes.
And it happened on that following Thursday. It happened really fast. But with this one, Harold is the artist, his wife is Deborah. They install their own pieces all the time. It's a small pad, it's there. They don't feel it's going to be difficult. And they say they don't need public works, which probably makes Sam happy.
That's great.
And so I know Michael and I will be there, but I'll confirm all that
That's
with
great.
time if you're interested in coming by.
Yeah.
Because it's always nice for them to
Where are
see.
they coming from?
Lake Oswego in Oregon.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Great.
So I'll confirm that, I'll Cindy.
Okay.
And the two of us, the same thing. I don't know when it's coming, but we're supposed to come the week of Thanksgiving. I'm not sure now.
Yeah, she was having some shipping issues. She had emailed me, but the contract's all processed.
Yeah, everything's ready. It's actually created. It's sitting in their studio. They are in Germany because her father had a stroke. And so they're trying to coordinate a lot of things from Germany, and it's difficult. So I'm just waiting to hear what they want to do and what they can work out. If we get too far into December or, into November, the weather's bad.
I know.
And so we're kind of trying to get all these things wrapped up before December, certainly, if we can. So, we'll see. Anyway.
So I'm next with the gallery subcommittee. That is the correct list of upcoming shows and their dates. So currently, Paul Youngman, youth exhibit, the rest. We've sent out call for artists for Hearts of Friendship, and if you have any artist friends, it's easy to send them the link. And we're getting pretty good responses so far.
Are you getting people?
Yes.
How many do you?
Just a handful so far.
So I've only had one on the Google form, so just try to make
Really?
sure you point people to actually
Okay.
complete the process. Yeah, so if they email back and say, oh yeah, I'm interested, just maybe prompting them, because I checked before I came and there's only one.
Oh, wow.
So I've got 3 times 2. There's 3 entries,
Okay.
2 artists each entry.
Yeah.
How about you? Do you know?
I think Isabel is interested.
Oh, I'm so glad. That's
Yeah.
great.
And another friend who's in St. Helena, and another person who is a Yountville resident. So 3.
I think we're a month out from the deadline, so artists are usually last minute, so.
Yeah. So that would be a 6. 3 people plus their friends, 6.
How many do you anticipate we can have at that?
20 probably, max. Do you think?
You
It
know-
depends. We've been asked about. Oh, and then there's
Depends on size.
BJ, who's going to.
Is she going to?
She's going to change the size. It we asked for the limits to limit the size of their paintings. So we'll
We
see.
did?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. That was that was pretty wise, I think. So people have been asking if it needs to be with those sizes, and
Is that on the application? Okay.
yeah. So was BJ Thrakel the person that? Oh, okay.
No.
That's interesting.
Was it Michael? I know he was fussing.
No,
about it.
it was Catherine Zimmer.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
Yeah,
Kathy.
that's the one that's in the Google form.
So that's 4 times 2 over here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll get
so,
there. We haven't
so
actually
to
pushed out a formal
answer-
press release on this either, so we're going to do that this week, just with the information we already have, basically. So
And the link is in the press release? I haven't looked at it closely.
it tells you to go to yountvillearts.com, and there's a link on the gallery page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I think 20 may be based on the size. Is that
So they can
kind of
use
what
the
you're-
Google form, I think, or they can just email Yountville Arts or Rhonda. So we just kind of at some point are going to have to put everything together. But
Right.
yeah.
So if we get more, then we'll just jury it, I guess, Or spread it into the art room or the founder's room. I mean, we'll
Do that too.
Yes.
More is always better. So as many as we can get. I wouldn't put a number on it at this point.
May I ask a question? Cindy, did you send it to all the people that we thought might be interested? There was a woman artist from the library that I brought to your attention. I gave you her information.
No, I did not send it to that person.
Okay, well, I reached out to the friend that introduced me to her and said we would like to send her that.
Okay.
So
You can send that from Yountville Art. I mean, anybody can send it to anybody. I
Okay,
sent
great.
it to a group of people that I had in a file, and so it was maybe 8 people, but I don't think
You
I
don't
caught
remember
that
that
one.
one?
No.
Okay. I'll take care of that.
Great. Oh, Brad's here.
Last year with the Heart Show, it took reserving a space on the wall, and we got kind of creative as to getting a rise out of the artists, but it worked. So we'll see how this goes along. It's met with a lot more enthusiasm than I thought. So I'm excited about it. So thank you.
So we're going to have a studio visit. Probably, I have to talk to Jeffrey about this, but we're thinking about November 17th with Andrea Cazares, who is, I spoke with her on the phone. So she's somebody that is A young artist, very well trained, has a really interesting style, and she was on the Open Studios tour, and also lives in Yountville. She's from Napa, and she's the resident artist for Nimbus now, which is pretty cool. So we will do a studio visit with her. And then Rhonda was working on the Chris Camerata show.
We'll see. It's not done
Potential.
yet.
We're talking, this is all 6 months ahead of time, and then the rest of the year is booked up. So that's all.
So we're pretty booked.
Yeah,
for
we're pretty booked for 2024.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes people drop out or things happen, unexpectedly, but that's our calendar.
And are we getting a good amount of people for the youth exhibit or children?
I think we have 14 entries right now, so I'll do another round of emails, and it went out to 8 schools through Peach Jar, which is what they make us use to distribute flyers. So, and then I did some direct emailing to the high schools mostly. So,
Noelle usually covers Boys and Girls Club. Should we ask her to?
I think she did send it on, so we'll see what happens with that.
Okay, because they usually kind of fill the room.
Yeah.
Are we going to need
I'll check
them
in.
as much this year? Or?
Yeah, I can check in with them. Yeah, they just their installation of those pieces is challenging because they don't come ready to hang. So we just have to spend a lot more time with them, but we can make it work.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll check in.
Well, you tell us what you need, Sam.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. So.
Did we want to go back now that town
Well,
manager
it
Ralston's
seems
here?
appropriate to me.
I'm really sorry that
Should
I'm
we vote
late.
on this? Or?
I can be brief. I don't know what you all talked about, but sorry, I was getting ready for tomorrow. So we have a bunch of meetings tomorrow. So if you're interested in housing, you can come out here at 1:00, and still working on the school site next door. I did want to point out that the crews did a beautiful job with this little patio outside. I don't know if you take a minute when you're done to at least look at the side yard and the backyard. We're also working on the front yard, which will be I think a design charrette that we'll have in December. So at least with the property we own here at Town Hall, we're cleaning things up, and the crews did this all by themselves. So this was in response to a request, actually through Blue Zones, if you're familiar with the health initiative, to have an outdoor space for our employees to eat. So we did that, and now we're getting ready we have a budget for the front yard, and we're going to reach out to the master gardeners and others and get some folks from the town involved in the front yard. So side yard's done, but that's just FYI. As it relates to the what do you call it, the Veterans Home concept discussion, I actually did speak, because tomorrow we're going to be talking with Calvet on the water issues, but I did speak to Joshua today. So they're definitely supportive. They actually showed me a few pieces they're working on up there at the Art Center. If you've been up to the Vets Home Art Center, it really was impressive to me when I got the tour to see all the stuff that the vets are creating up there. So in talking to Sam and then others, I guess we uncovered this pad that's over at the Veterans Park. So to me, it's just a good opportunity to build bridges with the Vets Home and to do something that, obviously would be meaningful to both the town and the Veterans Home as a symbol. I don't have details other than I want to get something started, and whether it's an annual or a biannual or a whatever thing, it could become part of your purview in terms of the art walk eventually, but we need to start somewhere. So my thought was to work, I don't know if you identified one person or how we
have
we
the
would
art
do
walk
it.
subcommittee, I think makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was hoping, and there might be still an opportunity on Veterans Day to announce something, which is obviously this coming Saturday. But I also don't want to rush, because I know there's always 100 questions, and if we don't have all the answers, then it can lose its steam. So, but it's simply that. Yeah, I think just an opportunity again to. working with the Vets Home on a number of things. I've heard all the stories of how it used to be, and I think I've developed a relationship with the new secretary, who's been in her job as long as I have mine. So she's brand new, and I will tell you that she did tell me that she's trying to make her first trip out here to do a ceremony at the Lincoln Theater to kind of reopen the theater. Now, how the theater gets used is another question, but I do think that those are all important bridges or relationships that the town needs to invest time in. So I'm glad you liked this idea. It sounds like you did, and I'm look forward to working with whomever. I asked Joshua at the Vets Home to figure out who we can work with up there, whether it's one or two people that can help us pick the piece, and then the town will figure out how to get it set up and part of our collection.
Excuse me.
We're all in, Brad, and the Art Walk Committee is right here. And you might not want all three of us, but when you get to a point where you want our involvement, just let us know.
Yeah. Well, I know there's one piece that they're sort of 80% through that look like a good fit, but I would rely on you all as well as staff to know, is it like a good fit from a installation and sort of weathering standpoint, taking the artistic side of it out. But it looked to me great. And I think the idea of the vets sort of picking what they want on display with your support is the right idea.
Sam, do we know what size those pads are?
I can find out tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I'll
I
go
just
out
don't
there.
remember. Probably. I don't know if they're 6x6. There'd be room. They
Yeah.
might be
I think they might be 4x4.
4x4.
But I'll take
yeah,
a look.
that's more like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'd have to make sure that the sculpture fits the pad.
Of course.
And all those kinds of things.
Yeah, it looked, well, again, I don't want to get ahead of it, but it looked like a good fit to me. But
Great.
yeah, so that's a feel good. The other thing, since I'm just making little announcements, the other meeting I had last week, which I think two of you were appointed to the shade structure town square discussion.
Yes.
So good. I met with the lead industrial designer from RH has agreed to sort of contribute their design expertise to our little subcommittee. So I met with them and showed them the site, and they're all excited. But this lady does like all the hospitality design for RH, so definitely knows how to work with outdoor spaces. And I basically gave her the criteria, which is we want shade, but we also need flexibility for that space. But it seemed like a good opportunity to tap into some resources. RH is trying to also build bridges with the town. There's been a history there. So I was happy. She's based in San Francisco, so she came up. So I'll in the next couple of months, facilitate like a kickoff design charrette, and we can go out there and be creative and see what comes of that. So I just wanted to share that with the group too.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And a nice collaboration, it seems.
Yeah. I told him we do like color because everyone seems to love the colorful umbrellas. And as you know, RH is pretty monotone, but but I think we can find something that makes sense.
Gives her a chance to do something different.
Yeah, that's what she said. She's like, she's got her creative juices flowing. So, I'll figure out some time where we can do that as well over there, and it should be fun. Those are to me, those are the fun things. So that gets me excited to work on those kinds of ideas together.
Yeah, it's all good news.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I could share more, but I don't want to spoil the party. Now everything, I think just from a big picture standpoint, I think I feel like these study sessions, just so you know, that we're having are kind of leading into goal setting for the council, which will be December and January. And the December study session will really be anything. So I'm just going to say it's just, hey, come all, bring your ideas. So if you all have ideas in terms of things that you want the town to be working on, prioritize. We've been working through this process, which leads into budgeting, and we start budgeting in February. And if we have projects that we want to consider, I definitely want you all to have the opportunity to share your thoughts. So you can do that any day with me or Sam, but if there's some formal ideas that we want to work on, just bring them to the table, and we'll do our best to make it happen.
Thank you for including us, Brad. Really, we really appreciate it. And I know from our conversation, you really do want to be involved in the art projects that we're doing. And I think the Veterans Connection is a really good way to get started on a partnership with you and working with us.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I enjoyed our conversation as well. And I will tell you that's one of the main reasons I'm here is you walk into this town and the art is like obvious, right? And it's a big piece of the character of the town. So, and that you named the gallery after Steve. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. So, now I want to contribute, and I shared, at least with Rhonda, some experiences of things that I was able to build in my former job, which are always the fun things. You need to have the fun things to balance out the not so fun things.
Well, I think those, Brad did share some of the projects that he had worked on in Southern California, and they're all different than what we're doing now. So it kind of made me feel that if we do have a project that's more civic oriented and it's maybe more structural or whatever, that Brad will be experienced and knowledgeable on that. And, we'd like to think he's all in, but we know at least he'd be cooperative with us. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you should just know that we only do fun things. So
I can tell.
Kind of true.
I can tell.
yeah.
Yeah, actually the group that I worked with is more, you mentioned, Cynthia, the Nimbus, right, is what it's called in St. Helena, and I actually went and I saw their brochure, and so that was really impressive to see that the Valley has that as well. So it was a lot more about kids, truthfully, where I came from, but same ideas in terms of just how do you integrate things into the fabric of a community, and we took on a policy which was more of a practice, but a lot of people have heard, percent for art programs, which I know we do here through the private sector through, development, but we did it through our capital projects, which was a little different. So when we approve a CIP project in my previous job, we tried to have 1 or 2% set aside for art. So if you do a street or you do a park or you do a whatever, and that was really useful, especially, as we were, anyways, struggling with certain things, the kids get involved and it starts to turn into a fun thing and a creative thing versus like a boring street. So all of that stuff is good, but I also feel like it's so apparent here, like you don't want to overdo it too, like you have to be tactful and, but hopefully if we can, do something with the school site next door, that becomes like a huge opportunity, to do something significant. So I'll keep you posted. I don't have any good news to share quite yet on that, but it's definitely somewhere I'm spending a lot of time.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
Literary?
So, Jeffrey, Literary Subcommittee, take it away.
Okay. I'll keep this brief. You've probably read it in most of this in Rhonda's summary for tomorrow. But Yountville Out Loud we held on September 14th. Good attendance there. Probably almost 36 people joined. Probably 15, 16 people read or shared stories or sang, or including a woman from Poland, which was very, very fun to have a more diversity in terms of what's going on, and I'm glad we could work that out. So a very diverse group of presentations and people attending. It was very nice, I think. Went well. Thank you.
Yeah, it was.
September 28th, we did the presentation of the improvisation, or we held 4 improvisation sessions, and then the 28th we did the reading of the 3-act plays. Had, again, about 36 people there, including the people who were reading and had been writing the plays. And a couple of people from the improvisation sessions ended up participating in the readings of the plays, too. And we want to build on that. Instead of a single event for the spring, we've kind of expanded it a little bit. We're going to do 6 improvisation sessions of about an hour and a half each on 6 consecutive weeks from March 12th through the April 16th. And then on the 23rd, we'll hold again another kind of presentation based on that work, and probably more directly from that work is our plan, because there aren't plays to be read this time as we had originally had, but probably put some kind of event show together based on those improvisation sessions. The second Handwritten Out Loud was held on September 23rd. Again, it was sold out. About 40 people is all they can hold. Given the rain that happened that afternoon, they moved it inside suddenly. And the event, I thought, was, again, a very lovely setting. They did it very well, especially on short notice. But we had about 17 people presenting. Did another chapbook with the same cover, but again, a lovely chapbook. Each time there's a little minor kind of glitch that we run into, but it went, I think, very well. And ended up with 3 of our local poet laureates presenting during that as well, 1 current and 2 former. We're well underway with the Bookmark Stories contest. In fact, it ends today. In terms of submissions, we're up to 36 that I know of, but we haven't had, we don't have the final round of those who have submitted, which Samantha indicated she hopes she gets to us tomorrow. So we'll be reviewing that. We will set up a kind of an award session, and it's going to take a little time because we'll have to cut the checks for those 5 people. I think we're going to try and get the bookmarks printed, so we'll actually have some examples there of the 5 people, and I suspect we're going to have some honorable mentions as well. We haven't worked on the kind of a board for that at the Yountville Library, but that will also happen. So probably early December we will do an event around that. We haven't set a date yet. The writing celebration class that Marianne and I are doing, our conversations, I think, are going very well. We met again today for next week's session. She has been putting together chapbooks for each of the weeks previous, so people will submit what their work, put a chapbook together, and we are holding a kind of final presentation of their work on Wednesday, December 6th, 5:30 to 7 in the Heritage Room. We invite you all to see a fellow commissioner who is going to be presenting her work. Marita has been participating and I think having fun there, as most of them seem to have. And so that will come to a close in December as well, and people. It hasn't been the same people all the way through, but they seem to enjoy it when they are there. One final piece that was just added. PJ, do you want to talk about that, or do you want me to summarize it?
I mean, you can go ahead and summarize it if you like, sure.
Okay. PJ is organizing April 25th for Rex Pickett, who is the screenwriter for Sideways, to come and talk about his work, about the movie, maybe have clips of things. Apparently there are plays that they have done for Sideways too, which I didn't know. He has several books that will be available. I think it's going to be a very exciting event, and that she is heading up, and we're trying to support. But that will be happening in the spring, and there may be other things. That's it for right now.
These are all fantastic,
I know,
Jeffrey.
what a great report.
These are
Look at you.
fantastic. I'm going to say what I always say, and that is, can you give us these dates in some kind of an order so that we can give you some support and some publicity on them? Or maybe you don't want that.
No, we always love publicity, as long as it's good publicity.
It's all good.
We're trying to focus
We only
on
do
that,
good.
but yeah.
We only do good.
I have all these dates, and we're working on the rec guide to include them. So that was kind of the precipice of like why we've scheduling so far out, and so then that'll kind of kickstart conversations on how we further market it.
Okay, that's
And
I'll
we
be
are
happy
still
help with
trying
that.
to determine what type of format we want to do for the Rex Pickett show. And so if anyone has thoughts or anything that you want to share, suggestions, please feel free. We will be conferencing with Rex and his assistant because he's done so many of these events and had great success, but he's like, I'm always open to different things of what you want to do. So we just are looking forward to making it something fun and different.
And I suggest you give those to PJ since she's heading this up, rather than giving them to me and I translate them, blah, blah, blah. So,
Jeffrey, I wanted to ask, are you going to mention the poet laureate?
I'm postponing that. Some problems have arisen, and that's why we're not talking about it tonight. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Sounds, it's really great, Jeffrey. Thank you. All of it. Marita, you'll be giving the marketing?
Right. So Noelle Resnick is not here this evening, and in her stead, I'm going to be giving the marketing update. So about the art walk, Visit Napa Valley did an email blast, The Ultimate Guide to Yountville, a 3-day itinerary. So that's, I believe that's up now, but I have to take a look and see. Also for the art walk, the Napa Valley Marathon has agreed to put our art walk map in their virtual goodie bag that will go to 5,000 runners in January. And that was with no charge to us. And I put that together. The Holidays in Yountville gift guide went live on November the 1st. Shop the Yountville Art Walk. Christmas ornament cover. Ornaments feature Who Rescued Who, Combustion, Muse with Attitude. So take a look online and do some early Christmas shopping, hopefully. The Paul Youngman Gallery Show, there's a full-page article in Napa Valley Features by Rosemarie Kempton, happily. Well done to Noelle to get that in there. And also on the 21st of October, David Landis and Public Relations Global Network brought 38 people, I think. 34 ultimately. Anyway, Cindy and I had the pleasure of greeting them and welcoming them to Yountville and launching them on their way with their art walk maps, as that's what they wished. And then when they came back, Cindy did a really great show, which I'll let her tell you about, and I took some videos and photos of it.
It's fun.
What's Ellen?
We had a good time. I'm. These are very extroverted people.
Oh, yes.
And from all over the world. It was really cool to meet them, and they were so. So we gave them a brief introduction to the art walk. We had Pete's Coffee and Bouchon pastries for them, and they all, everything went with just a few. I mean, so it was really nice. I mean, they took pictures of the food, that kind of, which I was like, okay. Yeah, people from Singapore, Hong Kong, Germany, Nashville, just, it was a really cool group of people. So when they came back, we played Family Feud with 5 on each team, and then the audience also got to participate, and they answered questions with the buzzer and the whole bit. And we had Family Feud, the music, the constant music of the theme song in the background. And, and the questions were like, what color grapes go into red wine? Who is the Steve Rogers Gallery named after? Who is Yountville named after? I mean, they were really hard-hitting questions. Oh, and then Yountville's known for three things: food, wine, and blank. Fill in the blank with a three-letter word that starts with A. And then finally we tied it up. One team was dominating, but I gave them a -3. So ultimately it came down, because I wanted to have it come down to the final question, or the final performance, which was a challenge. And I didn't know that if they would be introverted or extroverted. So the challenge was that each team had to reenact either the sidewalk judge or Dancing Butterflies as a sculptural piece, and then the audience would vote on which one should win. And both did Dancing Butterflies, and it was pretty amazing. As one woman said, she said, "Oh my God, and we haven't even had any alcohol yet." So we
Do we have video of that?
I have a little bit. I
Do
took
you have a video of
videos.
that? I'm sure somebody does. But so we had a good time. Yeah.
Very fun.
Were you in your renowned disguised?
No, I came as myself that day.
Okay,
They
No
were-
beret.
that's too bad.
They really all enjoyed it, and especially the hilarity of the contest.
Oh my God, the Dancing Butterflies! You should see. I mean, they were just like all over the place and intertwining and then freezing. That was.
Oh yeah, that was one of the teams
Yeah.
did that.
Yeah.
It was lots of fun. So, and then for the art walk also, there was another FAM tour that Jim McDonald, our former commissioner, led. And it was for City Style and Living Magazine and freelance writer Virginia Miller. So I assume we'll be hearing something good from them. And then for the Legacy Roundtable, we did an events blog on yountville.com on 2023 events in the Napa Valley. So it all went really well. And then posting on Canvas, we had Handwritten Out Loud and the Paul Youngman Gallery Show. And the Chamber newsletter, we did the Legacy Roundtable Culinary event, which was really spectacular and well attended and really well done. Congratulations.
People loved it.
We had the Napa Valley Life covered the Handwritten Out Loud Legacy Roundtable and Paul Youngman Gallery shows. So we have had quite a bit of recognition, and Noelle, I give her most of the 98% of the credit. I get 2% for now, but I'm working on it. So that is Noelle's report and mine.
That's a good report.
Thank you. Yes, great. Thanks, Marita. Okay, performing arts, Judy, PJ?
Well,
Judy
I
start.
think I want to first of all thank all of you who participated in the parade, our first ever parade entry. And Sam,
Yes.
thank you for ordering all the stuff. I don't know, I was even like tagged down at work. People are like, was that you giving those things out? And so I think everybody was really, really pleased with how that turned out. So do you feel that way, Sam? Yeah, it was great. Those were the best giveaways, by the
Yeah,
way.
it was fun.
Absolutely.
Good. So appreciate that. Jeffrey, next year we're going to get you there.
Good luck.
Did you see what we did? It was
No, I
good.
didn't. It sounds fabulous, though.
Jim sat in the back of a truck, a work truck, and we decorated it all up. It's great. And he was painting, and we had the ladies in, what's the name of the car again?
Cupcake,
Cupcake.
my car.
Yes, in front of us, and then we were all walking, handing out little canvases with paints for the kids, and
Oh,
they
fabulous.
just loved it.
Yeah.
Yes.
What a great idea.
It was darling, Sam.
Yeah.
These
Really.
were really wonderful,
Really
Sam.
cool.
I
Yes.
swear.
It was fun.
So
I'm glad you participated.
I think I managed to save 2, which I
have
passed on.
like 2 or 3 left too. And we thought about putting them on a Christmas tree, but I don't think we have enough, so we'll have to see. Or we can talk to Sam about that. Then the Legacy Roundtable, it was the best one. It was sold out. It was really good.
It was more than sold out. Because we had 2 more people that came in at the end that paid at the door. We squeezed chairs in for them.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, I keep telling you guys this, and I would love to have any ideas on who you'd like to see next time. We could do Vintners again, but we thought we'd mix it up. And I know PJ's working on getting some local art, like we were thinking, or writers.
Mm-hmm.
She has,
Bonnie Meyer is one, but we just have to pick a date, I guess, because that's, I think, going to be the best way to pin these folks down is once we have a date.
yes. And if anybody has any ideas, like, I can reach out. I know someone who knows Karen McNeil, but we thought the Winery Dogs, artists, fun. We want to do some fun stuff. So,
On Authors of the Valley.
but we will be getting together as a committee shortly. It's just such a tough time of year. But to discuss what we're going to do, and I think Sam's working on dates for us for next year. So we'll do 4 of those. And then the Scarecrow Contest. Wow.
Yes, what the
My heart grew bigger and bigger every single day walking past the community center as more and more came in, and seeing all of the tourists and people milling around and photo opportunities and hearing people, oh, look. It's like showing them that Yountville is a real community, not a fake town, that it's a real community. And it was everything I think that we hoped it would be.
It was more. I mean, we had 20 scarecrows, which was great. I know a lot of us participated, which I really appreciate
But
as
we
well.
just did that to oil
To oil the,
Right.
yes,
Well, yeah.
to grease the path. And I told Sam, and I talked to PJ, and I talked to Marita. There was a lot of complaints from people who didn't win, but
Who was the winner? You know,
Everybody can't win, but
yes. So we were trying, first of all, we were trying not to include like people, like Rhonda Robbins exit, or shouldn't have been,
There were 2
right?
winners,
But
the
really,
Ross
the
Award
Knitting Club did
and the
such an
Knitting
amazing
Yeah, yeah.
job.
That was upside down.
Architecturally, and it was a whole team, and they all,
Adorable.
And then
right?
Public
So that
Works.
was our winner, but Billy and all her friends gave us an earful for sure. So we've talked it over, and with the Christmas trees, which the thing will be, the press release will be going out this week. We don't think we're going to do an award or anything. Just like it's. I was pretty upset. I got pretty beaten up by a lot of people on that. So.
Oh, you should, aw.
That's too bad.
It is way too bad.
But at Christmas, we
Don't let it overshadow how wonderful the whole
I know,
project
that's what
I
I told
agree.
you.
Successful it was.
Yes,
and
it was a
I
huge
won't.
success.
But the other thing is that it was suggested to us, and Marita talked about it, and we need to really work on it. And I think we would be rushing it too much if we did something like this. But we need to have some sort of, like tally for all of the people in town to be able to participate, to pick their favorites as well.
Well, a People's Choice is always a
think so,
great
too.
way to get, that includes the community. You could put together a box, and if the weather's good, move it out, or put it on the inside, as long as people know there's a way, and let them vote.
Yeah,
And that takes you off the spot, too.
that's right.
Yeah.
And it's a community's
Yeah.
decision. I think that works better, especially involving the rest of the community. So, but this was great for our first year to do something like this.
It
And
absolutely was.
Oh,
I think that
they
for
would just
the,
keep appearing every day that we
They
use
were.
Scarecrow, and you'd be like,
so we're hoping the
so
Christmas
creative.
I
And the
know.
town, I thought the town getting on board was just too fun.
I know, I love
It
that.
was
Really?
great. It was great.
Challenge.
So there were some other photos taken. I know I only took the 2, and I sent you the video that I had taken, but I think, did you get some more photos? Because I think.
No, I
Rhonda,
just got the
didn't
ones you
take
sent.
a couple?
If anybody has pictures from Saturday, just send them.
All right,
Robin,
I'll
I
send-
think, did.
I took
Somebody
them
did.
throughout
Text
the
them to
time.
me.
Didn't you take some? I
I
thought you
think,
did.
yeah, I
You
think
know
I
who
did.
did a really good montage of all of them was Robin.
Yeah.
So
It would be great. Tomorrow, my goal is to, at least on social media and stuff, push out the winners.
Okay.
So people know into the sun.
And Judy's home phone number.
And email. And email, yeah.
Never.
like holes in my pants.
But even I was just thinking with the tree, if you wanted to do that, a vote for your favorite or top three, I could easily make a QR code with an online voting
So
system
that's
type
the
of
best
thing.
idea because
Yeah.
then people can't necessarily stuff a ballot, and I
Right.
think that's what we were.
That's
worried
what I
about.
had a concern of is,
Yeah.
we didn't want someone stuffing the ballot box.
Well, it'll just be, I mean, you kind of know. It'll be fun. It
can
could just
tell
be
when
fun.
they
But I'll have signs made like I did for the
Oh, that's
Scarecrow, telling
great.
them who's doing these things. So we could
Yes.
just put a voting QR
But we
code.
also announced it at the Scarecrow Award ceremony so that people that had entered into the Scarecrow contest, they seemed to maybe be some of the same that would have interest in doing the trees. And I know some of the
excited.
Scarecrow entries, they're already saying, we can't wait for next year. Wait till you see what we do
Yeah.
next year. So,
That's wonderful.
yeah.
What was the prize? Was
We
that-
give magnums of wine out.
Really?
Because the knitting team and then to
Yeah,
Marley.
Marley, and then
the
the other
trophies.
ones, honorable mentions, got the trophy.
You know, and maybe we were doing the wrong thing, but we thought, since Robin's part of the council, she shouldn't necessarily win. We were trying to look for the people that don't have a vested interest in what we're doing, right? But the knitting club was by far, I mean,
Absolutely.
That one was amazing.
and everything,
It
and
was adorable.
Yes.
Yep.
so.
well, our Scarecrow is now in the back garden staring everybody down.
That's good.
But her head kept turning. I was like, we have to go turn our head.
Oh, and I made pumpkin seed. I took 4 of the
That's right.
pumpkins home and made
Oh,
pumpkin
good.
seeds. They were the best ever.
Oh, that's great.
I'm glad I didn't have to take those pumpkins back.
But we told people at the ceremony when they took their scarecrows away if they also wanted to haul a pumpkin along with them.
And some people
did.
took those big pumpkins.
The big ones, yeah. They brought their trucks over and backed them up.
Great.
And
I mean, I told Rhonda this, but we had to get, like, my husband and Larry, the plumber, who's no longer, he brings out all his equipment and his dollies and, slides to get him off. It was pretty hilarious, so.
Big job. But, your timing for that, everybody's ready for fall. Halloween, it means fun, it means kids, it means community. And, you really did a killer job. It's a great job.
Agreed.
Well done.
next year should be bigger and better.
Eventually, we'll have
Probably.
Rhonda's idea, like the trees all along the street.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Highway, I think it was Highway 29. I wanted them along Highway
That's
29.
a great idea. Along the bike path.
There you go.
And someone brought that up because in Cambria and down the coast, the whole town gets involved and the businesses put out scarecrows and for their scarecrow contest.
And can I just also point this out, because PJ and I did meet with
Whitney.
Whitney, thank you. And she said, we don't want anything to do with this. You guys are on your own. We'll support you however we can, because we got a lot of comments. How come businesses aren't involved in this? And they're too busy, they didn't want to have anything to do with it, so.
And, maybe by next year that will change because, we are coming in a little bit late, in the game with all of this. But I think what we've been able to put together coming in late in the game is awesome. So I think next year we've got, the road paved for bigger and better and easier.
We did have one business
It's
participate.
really hard to get businesses. I mean, do you have an employee dedicated to making a scarecrow? It's really hard for a business to appropriate a person to do something like that. However, you included them.
Yeah.
So that's their option if they participate or not.
Yeah, and I know for my company, we'll be doing 2 sponsored trees, which I'll do on my
You'll do.
free time.
Yeah, you'll do.
So, anyway, okay.
That's great.
So your business does have someone dedicated for that.
Clever.
You know,
yeah.
for next year, maybe we can just suggest that they make it like a team building event or something, you know, for
that's a
their
brilliant
employees.
idea.
I think, you know.
The
yeah.
best you can do is ask them.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Okay, well, good job, you guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Mustard Celebration, we're working on the Heart of Friendship Gallery show, which we've talked about. We've got some activity, as we also discussed. There are regular meetings going on. The next one is the middle of November. The participation is wide and widening, and lots of excitement about the celebration this year. So it's continuing to grow, and we're a part of it with our events. And that's about it, I think.
Will we be doing hearts again this year?
Yes, I'm working with Patty on just that. Saturdays and Sundays, Sam, we think, in February?
Yeah, I think we just are saying weekends in
Weekends,
February, kind of
right.
just leaving it a little more open-ended.
So that would be like 37 Saturday and 37 Sunday, which is more than we did last year.
Okay.
But only the 4 weekends in February.
Okay.
Rhonda, what are the dates for the mustard season? Is there a beginning end date for that?
We
Defined?
usually start it, so that would be, I think, January 18th, and it goes through March 31st.
Okay.
The hot months are February and March. I mean,
Yeah.
those are really what.
And is there going to be a coordination like there was with the photos last year?
The photo finale, Michael's going to do that, yeah.
Okay.
That's his, yes.
And the Chamber's doing another event as well
Yes.
this year. They did an
So,
event last year.
I think I mentioned at the last commission meeting, there was a mustard celebration meeting, and the Yountville just outshined everybody because we had photo finish, we had Yountville Arts, we had Whitney, Noel came. So Yountville was like the star of that meeting, as well we should be, because we just really have our act together.
And
Yeah,
we are at the heart of everything.
we are absolutely.
We're the
We
heart of the Napa
are.
Valley.
Yes.
So what was the end date then, March 1st?
31st.
March 31st, thank you.
Which I think is a Sunday this year, but, yeah, it's, yeah. Okay, so our sip and stroll. Yes, Sam, I think we should probably meet and go over. I read your email, but I didn't have it, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was late today. But yeah, generally we put the call for artists out at the 2nd or 3rd week of January, so we'll start working on that. And we're actually doing a few small updates to the website just with save the date.
That's great. People are already talking about it. And so that's PJ and Noel and I will meet with you, and we'll figure out a time. I don't know about before Thanksgiving.
I was kind of hoping for after.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Yeah.
And by that time, we should have artwork, I hope. So that's a work in progress. We don't really, we do want to try to focus more in the community center area, but how to accomplish that, I don't know. Any chance we could use Humboldt Street because it's not really a fire necessarily area. If we closed off Humboldt, it's 2
Humboldt
blocks.
adjacent to Vandeleur. Humboldt, right here.
Cindy Gates is, I
Oh.
mean, yeah. Cindy.
Yes, adjacent to Van.
I think it would be a little removed.
A little what?
Removed from the community center. I don't
Well-
know. We can talk about it in
Okay.
our meeting. I have some ideas too.
Okay, good.
Are we not going to be in the Veterans Park?
Well, we can, but the artists continue to complain
see.
all the time. And some of them,
Because they want to be closer to the community center?
that's sort of the buzz. They think everybody at the community center is doing well, and I think a lot of them do.
Okay.
The the lawn area that we opened up, that had some good fun and some good action last
Yes.
year, so I don't think they'll be as reluctant this year. but it can only handle so many tents. And we have 50 artists. We'd like to have more if we could.
So why not move the wine in the seating area out of the community center and put the wineries somewhere else?
So that was one of my ideas, and we can talk about it in the committee meeting. But we could open up the indoors to artists as well, and then move the wine back dispersed amongst the art, which is something we've heard a lot too from the artists, that they like it better that way. And we obviously moved away from it because of our COVID restrictions, and then thought it worked well. The wineries like it; they like to be. But I think that for the event itself, so I have that idea. I have a couple other irons in the fire.
I've always been in the community center at a table, but I always thought it was more fun down in Veterans Park where, the wine is all, it's like a big party down there.
That was like a big party. I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of having the wineries tables dispersed throughout,
Yeah, I
because
do
that
too.
way, as a patron, if you get a splash and you're looking at art, then by the time you get, you're ready again, instead of having it all be in one room.
Yeah.
COVID kind of put a crimp on that. That's why we moved
Or we
it
could go,
indoors.
I mean, we could definitely revert back, because that's how it always was
Okay.
until 2021, I think
Okay.
is when we came back.
Could we use the Heritage Room as well?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
so I have a couple
we have
ideas,
some
and
options.
and before we meet, I'll try to further vet the other two so that we have more to discuss.
Yeah.
But that's the goal. I mean, we talked about that, recapping last year's event, is try to become more centralized, because although we don't think it's that far, it's something we hear continuously. So,
Continually.
Okay,
yeah.
that's fair.
And we did kind of get more centralized, which that year was really successful. And then properties changed hands and stuff. So we're trying to kind of rebuild that, is one of my ideas. So
And can you give us a hint about who the artist might be?
Well, Cindy gave you a hint already. It's, we're working with Chris Camerata,
Oh, okay.
but it's working. I mean, we're working on it. He's the second or third that we've been working with, so we're hoping, we're hoping that's going to work. But it's coming along. So that's Art Sip and Stroll. Sam, are there any staff reports?
no, I don't have anything else. Thank you.
Commissioner reports? Any
No.
comments?
But I did want to once again thank Sam for your help stewarding this press release, because it got problematic and you sorted it right out. So thank you very much.
The council meeting tomorrow, you're going to be there, Cindy. We've submitted the report to the council that all of you participated in. Cindy was great helping me put it together with some continuity. So we'll be presenting in front of the council tomorrow. And Jeffrey, I don't know if you're still able to come.
Yes, I'll be there.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
And it's at 3.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the agenda,
There's
but
2 reports in front of you, but they're brief. So it should be 3:10, maybe 3:15 at the latest. Yeah.
and since they have everything in front of them, if they want to ask us questions, they'll ask. And, it would be great if if as many of you could be there, so that they can see you and associate you with the work that you're doing. That's really the idea.
I also think, too, if you haven't read that report, it was staggering to me. I mean, I know you're doing all of this and we're doing all of this, but when you see it, and that's only half a year, condensed into this report, it's very impressive. Yeah.
I know.
I know.
I'm sorry I can't be there.
Me too. But I thought it was going to be less work than the council, but now I'm not sure.
So, Sam, I was thinking, since so many people are busy for this date, maybe we could get the annual date when, as we're moving forward, so that everybody can put it down in their 2024. That'd be great. Thank you. Okay. If there's anything else for anybody, or a
If
motion?
there isn't, then I would move to adjourn.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you,
Yes.
everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Where did the year go?